Messi. Oh, brilliant skill from Lionel Messi. Surging forward with real menace here. Brilliant from Messi. Oh, what a goal that is!
I've done it again. We're doing it again. I've started the show with myself on mute. This is embarrassing. This is now like the fourth show in a row. Anyone would think I would know what I'm doing by now. Just nearly 18 months. But it is what it is. Hope everyone is well. Happy Sunday. It's an absolutely stunning day. I'll tell you what, it's normally the sort of day I want to get out there and I want to drink. But I have given up drinking. So, yeah, it is what it is. I'm just seeing if Perchy wants to jump on. I like Perchy. Jump on, mate. Yeah, here we go. But listen, it's been an interesting one. What I love about Spurs fans, I'm going to tell you what I love about Spurs fans. Happy morning to all of you. Is when Spurs win, right? We get some fans that their first thought is to jump at me to talk about, oh, you said this about Romero. All right. Oh, you don't like the owners. All right. Oh, we're in a title challenge. Okay. Like, I don't understand it. People are crazy. Like, honestly, the love and support that Richie is getting is baffling. But we'll get to that a bit later. So big up. Where is everyone in the chat? Who's here? Who is here? Who is here? Who is not? Just a nice hour 15 minutes this morning. By the way, got the Spurs review tonight. We have, haven't we? Sorry, we've got the Spurs review at 8 p.m. So obviously the biggest show of the week, Spurs review. We've got Stewie there. Come on, mate. Come on. No, we don't need you there. Everyone say goodbye to Stewie. There he is. Bye, Stewie. Say hello. Nope. Oh. We've got the Spurs review at 8 p.m. We're going to do a live watch-along today, guys, as well, for the Newcastle versus Liverpool game. I thought that would be quite a good game to watch. If anyone would like to watch that with me, rather than having Sky commentary, then please feel free. Sorry, I've got a cut above my eye. I'm just trying to scratch it away. I'm so sorry. So sorry. So big up to each and every one of you. We have got Mario202012 who has said, good morning, Savva. Question, how would you set up to counter relentless Ange ball pressing? What are our weaknesses? Well, our weaknesses are definitely getting in down the channels. Definitely, I think if you can hit Spurs quickly on the break with quick players, and I think you can hurt Spurs. And I think aerially is going to be one to watch as well. But at the moment, we're doing it very, very well. Irish Rebel inside the house just saying, Ange, Poster, Coglu. Big up to you. Bed knobs and broomsticks is in the house as well, who said great victory yesterday. Enjoyed every second. Rodney Roberts, big up channel member, said, morning Savva, morning to the Spurs family. We are in a ruthless business, the Premier League. Sorry, Richarlison needs to take a step back for Tuesday. How we feel about a player won't get us results. Come on, you Spurs. I'm on the same page as you. I don't have any time for sentiment. Talking about sentiment, I've got no time for this plum-coloured wall. It's awful. We've got to change it, Perchy. We've got to change it.
I've got some Fanta lemon as well. Just
disgusting. Just absolutely disgusting things going on. I'll come to you in a second, Perchy. Just going to do a couple of good mornings. Good morning to, here she is. Donna Cullen's in the chat. We're about to have a freeway battle for love, passion, and honour. Uncle Disraeli is here, who said I would rest Maddison for the Fulham game. We'll get into that in a minute. Irish Rebel, just giving a wink. Shane Reynolds, channel member, said, loved watching the game last night from Australia. I think VDV was the best player on the pitch. Never looked like getting beaten. We'll come to that as well. Tigaro, single parent theory is here. Big up to you. Everyone should be smiling as a Spurs fan right now. Big up to you. The only person that should be very, very worried for me is is Richarlison, but we'll come on to that because otherwise it will sound like I'm bullying him. Mike Naylor, I mean, I did see this earlier when I was watching the my own intro. I say watching my intro, waiting for my intro. Said, I mean, this is where I think Spurs fans, we do ask to get absolutely bantered. Nobody is daring to say it, but if we get another striker and fullback before the window shuts, I can see us mounting a challenge for top 3. Okay, yeah. We'll come to that. And possibly the title, if we keep improving at this rate. Listen, big up to everyone in the chat. I won't be able to get to everyone, but Perchy,
Yep.
are we doing that thing again where all of a sudden we're talking about title challenges and it's like...
Are we doing it again? Are we doing it again?
Sean would be really upset because we're doing it again, aren't we?
We're doing it again. Listen, I had this in mind. I think, guys, I keep saying this. Let's avoid the pressure, right? Honestly, these in the last half an hour of my show, I've just had a battle in the chat. It was incredible.
Do you think it's the same person?
If it is, fair enough, fair play. Good. Listen. All I'm saying, Margot, Donna Cullen donated to me my stream, and you didn't. So I've got to side with her until I start seeing some on that side. I'm joking.
Because,
it's just a joke.
Perchy, before we get into that, I mean, if you have a look at this, and big up to the 325 people that are in here, good morning to you all. Donna Cullen has said, our love is eternal. Margot is a villain in our path. I mean, I love that. To which Margot Robbie has come back and said, Mr. Savva, tell this world you are mine. To which Donna Cullen has come back and said, Mr. Savva, I need you to decide and now tell once and for all, Margot or Donna. Just say it once and finish it. It's me and you, right? Big up to Donna and Margot. Someone should message Margot Robbie on some of her socials and let her know that this is happening and see if she'll ever come on. That can you imagine, Margot? I'd freeze. I'd freeze. I'd be like,
what?
I'd be like, you know, in the polite version, like American Pie. You know,
yeah.
I'd be like, big up, good morning to everybody in here. Big up to Donna Cullen. Big up to Margot Robbie. Perchy, we're winning. We're going on a title challenge, mate.
Yeah. Listen. I think let's drop it down to a little bit of realism for now, which are what I've been saying. I think people need to realise, game at a time, right? Listen, why do we need to put that pressure right now? Listen, I'm not saying that we are, but let's just say we have that conversation in the end of March, right? If at the end of March we're 2 points off the top of the table, do you know what? We're there or thereabouts now. We've not even the transfer window is still open, right? The transfer is still open.
Wrong dog. Pugsy or Bugsy? Are you saying because it's a pug? Okay. All right. Yeah, look, I mean, Perchy, for me, I think this is the key thing, right? I've said all window, I don't want to put pressure on what this year should look like. For me, this was more about consolidation. First of all, starting a season and finishing the season with the same manager would be a massive plus.
Agreed.
I think everyone's got to realise that not every game is going to be like this. There are going to be games where we don't find it as easy. As the season goes on, there are going to be defeats. There are going to be draws. Yeah. There are going to be big injuries. But I think when we start talking about third, challenging for first, I do think that it's a little bit disingenuous from where we've come from. And I'll be honest, if I'm sitting here in January, February and Tottenham in that top 3 and close to Man City, I'll turn around and go, wow. But we've been here before. We were top in December under Jose. I feel people have got to really, don't be excited. Calm down a little bit, right?
We won 3 out of 3 with Nuno, and then he lost 3 out of 3 and got sacked. So, like, listen, I'm not saying it's going to be like that, but I think people just need to remember we've had good starts to seasons before. Bear in mind that season again for Nuno, we beat Watford, Man City, and Wolves away, right?
Yeah.
And then everyone went, "Oh my God, this Nuno's the right guy, right?" And then 3 games later we lose, and it's like boom, and then it's
it's funny. Yeah, Pac-Man, big up to you. Pac-Man is a Man City fan, always welcome in the chat, has said, happy return of AFTV day, everyone. Do you know what? Obviously I do a lot of work with Lee Judges from AFTV and Dan Potts, who goes on AFTV.
Yeah.
And I was speaking to Dan yesterday, and then I looked. He did an interview outside the ground on AFTV. So did Lee Judges, and honestly, they've started going at each other again.
Brilliant.
It's all very much centered around Kai Havertz, which I feel sorry for Kai Havertz, because whether he's good enough, this whole tinkering of their system isn't his fault. Like the whole putting party in the back, this is Arteta. But listen, we're not here to talk about Arsenal. We're not here to talk about Arteta. But yeah, big up. And listen, I love watching AFTV. I think it's hilarious. You know what as well? It's people like me that watched AFTV back in the day whenever they lost or didn't win that have made Robbie a millionaire, right?
No. There's a reason why. What's incredible with what Robbie's done, and I will say this to him, fair play to him, is now what he's done is just diversified, right? He's now got other people running AFTV, and now he started his own form.
Yeah, DR Sports,
which covers everyone. So he's just taken over that. No, listen, for that side, it's fair play. Like, you started AFTV, now you basically have other people running it, so you can get involved and run one that's centered around other teams. Fair play.
Absolutely. By the way, my commentary yesterday was bang on, I think. Listen, I will be doing live watch-alongs in the Premier League, international games and Spurs games this year. Hence why I didn't call my channel anything to do with Tottenham. Obviously, everyone knows I'm a Spurs fan, and the majority is Spurs. But I'll see how we get along today. Newcastle v Liverpool watch-along. Come and watch it with me if you want. We can have a bit of banter. You don't have to listen to Neville and Carragher talking, all their biased stuff. So feel free to join me for the watch along, and we'll be back on Tuesday for a watch along of Tottenham versus Fulham in the League Cup. We'll talk about that in a minute. Big up Danny Kiriakou in the chat. Love you, Danny. Hope you're well, my man. Living the life out there in Amsterdam. Beautiful girl, lovely man bun. He's living the dream, isn't he? That guy.
Living the dream. Isn't he just? Honestly. Chilled out Danny's cool, but it's funny because he just has his moments of when Danny comes like a wrecking ball. So like when it's something he doesn't like, he just out of nowhere just shoots into especially on Twitter. I love seeing Danny
from nowhere,
out of absolutely nowhere, and he just coming going, "Bah!" It's brilliant. But yeah, love you, Danny. You're an absolute legend.
Yeah, I mean, listen. Let's talk about, I suppose we've got to start this. I've got some more super chats. Jesus Christ, this is going to go on and on and on, isn't it? Donna Cullen's come in and said, "You're freeze for Margot. I'm really disappointed. No more super chats for you. This is finished. It's the last one. With love, Donna." Right? Remember that, Perchy. This is finished. It's the last one. Followed up 3 minutes later with, "Dear Tottenham fans, this is it. It's finished. Mr. Savva has chosen Margot over me with that comment. I left Mr. Bobby K for this man, and he chose a Barbie doll. I'm extremely hurt, and I'm leaving." Donna, we love you as much as we love Margot. Unfortunately, you're just not as aesthetically pleasing.
Oh, God.
Margot Robbie is like watching Man City. You're like watching West Ham. Might be effective, Donna, but really boring to watch. Big up and a normal super chat. Tigaro said, I accept my folly with Richie and admit that my faith in Ange alone would turn him around, but I may be wrong. He needs a sports psychologist urgently. Tigaro, I'm going to change a word in this sentence. You might, it's not I may be wrong. I'm wrong, right? I'm wrong. Listen, Perchy, this has been really interesting overnight. Big up Tigara as well. Massive supporter of the channel. Thank you so much. Really nice guy.
Me too. He supports me as well, of course.
Yeah, he's all right. All right. It's not about you. This is my show, mate. All right. Chill out. Oh, come on. Oh, friend. Look, a lot of people in my listen, you know what it's like. You put out a stream. Yeah. I did a stream last night that ended at like 10 o'clock. So this morning I wake up to like 150 messages of this, that, all the rude ones. You go, yeah, whatever. Savva, you're a dick. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
The majority of them are about Richarlison. Yeah. And there is no middle ground with this guy at the moment, Perchy. It is either this guy is dreadful, get him out of the club, he's terrible, he can't do this, he can't do that, get him out, I don't care, go. Or it's the other people that they do this kind of, is what I call, it's the hero comments. It's the give him time. He's young. I mean, he's 26. He's young. Give him time in the Premier League. Andrew's only had him for a couple of months. Right. Can we just say it for what it is, Perchy? How good is Richarlison?
I mean, he's an okay striker. I mean, and that's pushing no disrespect to him. Like, because let's be honest, what you have to do is you look at his history and you can judge it. His best Premier League season is 13 goals. Like, so let's be honest, like, I've seen midfielders score that in the Premier League. All right, midfielders score that in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So he's not a prolific goal scorer. So then you've got to go, okay, fine. Not all players are prolific goal scorers. Gabriel Jesus, not a prolific goal scorer, but he has something to the team, right? He has different dynamic to the team. I saw Richarlison yesterday, and I've been one of those. I've been one of those advocates that have gone, listen, I think let's give the manager's got to give him time, blah, 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 and see how he goes after X amount of time. But what I will say now, how long does that go? And here's the other question. I put it in my chat, and I'd like to get your thoughts on this, and I'll ask you a question on it. Richarlison right now still has stock. Still. Brazil's number 9. May not be to the thing. It's sort of signing a Saudi Arabian club would go for, right? They'd go, we want Brazil's number 9, Richarlison. How much, if an offer was on the table right now, and I'm not saying, I'm talking about it with the length of the window that's left, if how much, if you got offered right now would be your minimum, you go, cool, we're going to let you go now. We've
20.
got this amount of money. Really?
I think he's awful. Look, Perchy, I'll be honest. I get it, right? When fans do this thing, I'm always called heartless, emotionless, which I find is really funny because of the amount of things I do for other people and charity work.
Yeah.
When it comes to football, I am heartless. I'm emotionless, right? Because you know what? Players come and go. Managers come and go. The owners will come. They will go. I've been here, you've been here, all the fans have been here before, depending on the age, before and after these players, this manager, these owners, the stadium, whatever, right? What I would say is this, is if Richarlison was doing this for Newcastle, Arsenal, Chelsea, we would be laughing our heads off.
Yeah.
Right? We would be going, oh my God, what an awful player. What has happened? This guy is terrible, right? Because he's our player, we're now doing the whole, I don't know, he could come good, give him time and Ange's system. But I'll always say this, Perchy, right? If you can't score goals prolifically, and he can't, he's proved that throughout his career.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you and going, okay, like anything in the world that you're selling, what is your USP?
Yeah.
Right. So I see people saying this morning, I saw someone say it in your chat. They said it in mine this morning. But Emil Heskey didn't score loads of goals. Right. Now, Emil Heskey didn't score loads of goals, but you ask any centre forward that played up front with Emil Heskey, who they loved playing up front with, they will say Emil Heskey because he did all the hard work.
All the dots work, didn't he?
All the hold-up play. He was a bully in the box. He was good in the air. And he knocked the ball. Right. Now I'm asking you, what's the USP of Richarlison? What does he do? What does he bring to the table?
I mean, do you want me to be really frank and honest?
Please. Yeah, USP? always.
What's USP? The frank and honest bit of it is he goes down to ground too easily. And let's be honest. What does Richarlison do great at? Going down to ground way too easily without hardly getting contact. No, I'm not slagging the guy off, but let's be honest. What does he do? What else does he do? Here's one for you. That chance he had that he has to score, by the way, and then he does that little flick, like where he knocks it behind his forward-facing ball to try and get it onto his other foot. I sat back and looked at that and went, this is everything that's wrong at the moment with Richarlison. I don't want to see you be doing stuff like that because there will have people going, oh my God, look at the skill from Richarlison. But he didn't do anything with it, right? Great bit of skill, lovely. But for me...
But I would expect that from a bloke that's worth £60 million. I would expect him to do something with his feet, right?
But my point being is I want to see someone hit it bottom left, have a shot on goal. I don't want to see... Right now with Richarlison, I don't want to see all the tricks and all the skills. I want to see him score goals, right? Listen, you do all the fancy footwork and stuff in the box and stuff when you're scoring goal after goal every game and stuff. Not when you're baying for a goal, right? You take too much time on it at the moment. Take the ball. Great example. Look at the difference with Maddison's goal when Sarr plays him in. There's no fancy footwork. He gets the ball, taps it around the keeper, goal, 1-0 up. You don't see that with Richarlison at all. It's 1-2, boom. Tries to do a bit something clever, overcomplicates it, and then the goalkeeper gets it or the defender blocks it. And it happened every single time with him. And how long does the manager cope with that?
Yeah, I think it's a difficult one, right? Because, look, when I talk about players, people always say you've got an agenda. I don't have an agenda. I just call out whatever I see. Let's be brutally honest, Perchy. I want every single Spurs player to be amazing.
Of course.
Right? But it's just not the way the world works, right? Mm-hmm. Now, right, there are players that you look at and go, I'm disappointed. And there's players I'm disappointed in because I think that they're in bad form or they should be doing better. I.e., we'll talk about him later, Kulu, for me, falls into that bracket. Right? Yes, he scored a goal from 3 yards and people will now go, oh my God, he's amazing. Kulu disappoints me in a game. And the reason he disappoints me is because there's talent in there. Yeah. Now, there's a complete difference to when I watch a player like Richarlison where, does he disappoint me? Not really. Why? Because I don't expect anything from him.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what people watch. And there was that one moment yesterday where the ball went into him. It was about 2 minutes before he was subbed off. The ball went into him. He miscontrolled it and the ball ran under his foot. The defender got the ball and then he lunged at the defender and got a yellow card.
Yeah.
And then Ange, you could see straight away, was off you come. And what I would say is this. In both games when Richarlison has gone off, how much better have we looked as an attacking forward unit? Not the midfielders. The midfielders always look good. The attacking unit in both games against Bournemouth and Man United looked better. And in turn, how much better did Sonny look when he went through the middle as opposed to playing from the left?
I agree. I think when Perisic comes onto the pitch, we have a lot more intent going forward. I think he's a lot better on the ball out on that left-hand side. I think Son, has grown into the last few games. I think against the opening game against Brentford, I thought he was really anonymous for a lot of it. I thought he was anonymous for a lot of the early part of the first half against Man United. But then in the second half, he got a lot more into it. And I thought he was really good yesterday, son. I thought he offered a lot more. And as with Kulusevski, by the way, I think Kulusevski yesterday offered a lot more than he did in the last couple of games.
I'm going to disagree. I thought, listen, people have a go at me here. I don't mind people having a go at me. I thought other than the goal, and listen, yeah, he scored a goal. I can't knock him for that. He did. Yeah. He got some output. I just think every time in the first half he gets that ball, when he's doing the safe thing, onto your left foot, cut inside, pass it 5 yards. Cool. Whenever he tried anything, whipping the ball in the box, beating a man, nothing came of it. Every single time. Every single time. But look, at the end of the day, let's round off the Richarlison conversation. I think as well, lots of people say things like, give him a chance and this has got to happen and that's got to happen, right? But are we here to give Richarlison a chance and worry about one man? Or are we here to worry about Tottenham Hotspur as a football club moving forward and progressing? Why do we get so sentimental about one? Sorry, that's two. About one man.
No, I think we get very sentimental. But this is where I always come down to, mate, on the simple topic of price tag. Notice we don't hear this about other players. If that's the case, then why are we not giving Sergio Reguilon an opportunity? Why are we not giving, I don't know, Ndombele? Like, do you know what I mean? I think people like him because they like the S house. I'm not going to swear just yet. I'm like, do you know what I mean? They like that he does all that. But I sit back and go, but this is exactly what. Do you know what Richarlison is? Richarlison is the new Eric Lamela. Does very little, but because he shows a bit of passion by clattering. What's this?
So Spurs have been linked. We'll come to it in a minute. Spurs have been linked to that Johan Bakayoko, who Burnley just had a bid rejected for. He's the guy that replaced Madwiki at PSV. But go on, carry on, mate. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's fine. But don't you think that Richarlison's the new Eric Lamela at this football club?
Yeah.
Like, doesn't really do much. Came at the time for a massive amount of money. but then really has been so poor, right? Really poor. Like, as I said, but this is Dave's. I was just going to pick up on that, Dave. Here's the question on that with the question I was going to say about him going to Saudi Arabia. When I say right now, when I say about football players' stock, Richarlison, whether we like him or not, he still has stock at the likes of a Saudi league. I could see a Saudi team going in and paying 50 million quid for a Richarlison. Whether we think he's worth that anywhere, I don't think he's anywhere near that. But I don't think so. But it's sort of signing that he want, a glamour signing, but not a very great player, right? Like, because he's Brazil's number 9.
I do think. I mean, I'm going to disagree. I'm sorry, big boss man. I don't think he has got good hold-up play. I think his hold-up play is horrible. You said how many times yesterday did the ball go into his feet and it bounces off him? I don't know. I'm sorry. I mean, when we say we're questioning Ange, I think the problem is at the moment he is the only recognised striker at the football club.
Yeah.
So I'm not questioning Ange at all. I don't know. I just don't think this guy works. I'm sorry. If people really want to big up this guy, they can, but I just can't do it. Let's talk about the transfer window, Perchy. By the way, in a couple of hours, I will have a video coming out where it's my player ratings from yesterday, which I'm sure will get a few people riled up. But sorry, just quickly, big boss man, the team is functioning well. It is not functioning well up top. It is not.
He's the blatant weak link in the team. I think we can all listen, whether we like him or not, and we like his attitude, or we like that he does this, we like he does that. It is clear today he's the weak link in our team, right? He's the weak link.
Oh, for sure. When you look at a team and you go, oh, they've got to change that. This is our guy. It's like when you look at Man U last year and you saw Weghorst. No one's worried about Weghorst up front.
No.
Yeah, Weghorst. Okay, at least Weghorst, I suppose, was a bully, good in the air, brought others into the game. But no one looked at Man United's front line last year and went, God, that's scary. Yeah, you're worried about Rashford, but no one was worried about the right-hand side and up front. And unfortunately, that's where I think we're getting to, where we're a very good team out the back. Who would have thought it? At the back, in midfield, we look brilliant. And then in midfield, up front, it's a bit toothless, but I genuinely believe to get the best out of Sonny, he's got to play centrally, because I don't think that, and people hear what I say before people call this Sonny slander. I don't think he's a top left-sided player anymore. I do think he's a top player if you move him inside. I don't think he's scary on the left for a fullback.
I think someone made a really good point in my chat earlier, just before I went live. They made a really good point. They said, do you know what? In this system, you need more out-and-out wingers. We don't really have an out-and-out winger, right? We've got inside forwards that cut in and stuff like that. Do you know what? So I said, do you know what's a player that, not specifically him, but the type of player. We need an Aaron Lennon style player, right, at this football club. Like, in any sort of way that sticks on the byline, gets the crosses in, adds a little bit of dynamism. We don't really have that right now, if that makes sense.
No, I completely agree with you. Look, I mean, there are, every player's got their own USP, right? Every player's good at something. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I just think that if you are going to play, for me, I've said this all along, if you're going to play Kulu and if you're going to play this formation, I don't think you can play Kulu and Sonny, because I don't think either of them will beat their fullback. I mean, over and over again. People go, oh, look at that one time someone beat a fullback. No, I'm talking about you as a fullback, Perchy, lining up for the weekend. Yeah, and you being worried that, oh my God, this guy's got a bag of tricks. This guy's got pace. This guy's going to take me to the cleaners. I don't think either Son or Kulu offer that. So for me, sure, play one of them that inverts, but one of them, one of those wingers needs to be a player like a Jeremy Doku. Yeah, like a Saka that can go. And I don't think we've got that at the moment. So that leads me nicely on to, and big up 589 of you in the house. That is amazing numbers for 11:34 on a Sunday morning. 598 now, and only 185 likes. Please smash the like button, people. It really, really is free. It's free. I was going to say cheap, but it's free. And thank you for helping me get over 10,400. If anyone would be so kind to subscribe, that would be lovely. It's got a bit quiet lately, so that would be brilliant. Perchy, the transfer window, including today, there are 6 days.
Yep.
6 days. Not long at all. We've gone past
one of them
the
we're
point.
playing in.
One of them we're playing in. We've gone past the point where it was, don't worry, the window's not shut yet. Oh, don't worry, there's 20 days since Kane's been sold. Right. We're now at the point where it's, and we need to do a few bits still. Forget the good start to the season, Perchy. We're still always 1 or 2 injuries away from being very average. So what happens this week?
What happens to me to tell you? I'll tell you. Is what is going to happen this week. We're signing Gift Orban on deadline day after the Thursday. No, sorry. Deadline day's on Friday. After Thursday, Gift Orban helps get into the Europa Conference League. We sign him. I'm putting that down. I think Dyer and Tosin swap is going to happen. And I think one of maybe this Bakayoko lad or Yotta come in maybe on loan, or we sign them, whatever we do. I'm staying positive. I'm staying in. We get those 3 in, and then we get rid of, obviously, Dyer will go to Fulham, part of the swap with Tosin. I think we'll get Lloris's contract's going to be put through the shredder, and maybe 2 or 3 more, hopefully. But I'm going to stay positive and say we're going to get 3.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll get 2. I like your up to. I want to go with you. I want to be wrong. You know what? There's nothing wrong with being wrong in things.
Yeah.
I want to be wrong. I reckon it will be a forward player. At the moment, I'm torn as to, do I think it will be a wide forward player or a forward player, like a central forward player. And I do think that they will bring another centre half, because if Romero or Van der Ven do get injured, we are back to the tried and tested players that have failed over and over again. Look, there are only 6 days to go. As you said, we're playing in one of those days, so that kind of almost knocks it down to kind of 5.5, really, or something. What you said, we're going to get a forward player in there.
I think so, yeah.
What profile? Who are we getting? Like, I feel like we're really low on names now and rumours.
Gift Orban. It's going to be Gift Orban. I'm staying with it. I'm standing by my principles.
Believe that.
And my theory, and if I'm going to say this, if he signs on deadline day, my theory was correct. That I'm going to say this, that we wanted to pay 30 mil. Gent said, no, we want keeping this so we can qualify for Europe. And so they said, well, if you want to sign him right now, you've got to pay 50, 60 million quid. However, we will allow him to go for 30 million quid if you allow him to go on deadline day after we've qualified or not qualified, allow him to play the European games to get us into the Europa Conference League. I'm standing by my theory. If he signs on deadline day, I'm just putting myself as a tier 1 if that happens. I'm just putting it out there.
Tier 1.
Hashtag tier 1 Perchy when that happens. That's just a theory. There's no logic on it. It's just my theory, because it seems like it. Because I'm feeling that we had this thing signed up earlier, ages ago. We got him personal terms sorted, but that's just my theory on that. And I think that there's a lot more speed on the Dyer to Fulham, toss into Tottenham building. So let's see with that, right?
Just quickly, sorry, Elias, I'm going to say, again, this is what we do. We throw these superlatives around way too easily. I mean, in the second half, was he superb? He got in the right place and scored a goal, sure. Other than that, did his fullback have a difficult half? No, I don't understand. What was he superb at?
It's not superb's the wrong word. The word is he was better. He was better in the second half. That's the right word.
Yeah. Big Boss Man said, is it sentiment or are we building slowly for a long-term project? A lot of it with Spurs fans is sentiment. Let's be brutally honest here. If Richie was playing like this for all of last season and all so far this season, none of the bigger clubs are going, give him time. They're going, look at Arsenal fans already with Havertz. I'm not saying it's right after 3 games, but after 3 games with Havertz, those fans are going, awful player. Why did we sign him? Listen, it is what it is.
I think the key way to look at it is what are the rival fans? Are rival fans worried about Richarlison? No. So that puts into perspective, right?
Sorry. So I was agreeing with the first half. I agree. Elias, I do agree. He is the kind of player who needs to be at his best in fitness and compatible with system, sure. But when you say you're seeing progress game by game, I think we're watching a different player. I thought he did brilliantly for the goal. Other than that, I thought he was wasteful again. Sorry. I'm not knocking him. I'm not saying drop him. I'm not saying sell him. I just think I expect more from him. I want the fullbacks to come off thinking I've had a tough game. Now, I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I thought your doggy had a good game, right?
Yeah.
But I do think that Semenyo gave him problems.
Oh,
I think Semenyo asked questions of his fullback. He asked questions, pace, power, skill. That's all I'm asking for. But listen, it is what it is. Perchy, so Orban, you're putting all your eggs in the Orban basket.
I put my eggs in the basket the second we were linked with him. I genuinely think this is the kid that we can definitely build our team, like our attacking team around. He is a talent, man. The more and more I watch him, the more I go, I was right about this kid. Like I hear a lot of people go, oh, well, it's only the Belgium league, but he's got to do it, right? Listen, we're not signing a player that scored 10 goals in the Belgium league. We're talking about a lad that has scored something like 47 goals in 50 appearances.
I'm going to go to the Belgium league, because when people say it's just the Belgium league, what makes me laugh about that is look at all the players that would have come out. I hear this about France.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
How many good players come out of France? How many good players come out of Holland?
I think there's a reason why the French
come out of Belgium.
Yeah, there's a reason why the French leagues and the Belgium national teams are one of the two best leagues, like countries going out there, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I do feel like we put everybody in the same basket when we're talking about these players. But look, I think when you look at his stats as well, if it was just as simple as, oh, he's only doing it because it's the Belgium league, why isn't everyone in the Belgium league scoring that many goals?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You can't, we can't just keep doing that. At some point, you've got to, look at these players for what they are. I think it's difficult as well, because look how our fans idolise Dele Alli, and he came from Milton Keynes, right?
Yeah.
Carl Walker came from Sheffield United, right? Luka Modric came from Croatia. Look, Jan Vertonghen and Toby Alderweireld and Christian Eriksen, where did they all grow up and play football? Moussa Dembele, where did he come from? Hugo Lloris came from France. We could do this about all these players. Thierry Henry, he came from France. You could keep going. But just to say somebody's from Belgium, so they must be bad, it doesn't quite sit with me. I think, again, I don't want to offend anyone, but I feel like it's a complete lack of critical thinking.
Do you want to know his all-time stats, by the way?
Go for it. Do you want to present your screen? Or
I can do. Let me do that. I mean,
we'll have a look. Big up to everyone, by the way. Can't believe there's 658 people in here. It's only going to go for a quick hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes. Big up to you all. As I said before, I've got a watch along starting at 4 p.m. for the Newcastle-Liverpool game. That should be a good game to watch. Good to watch our opposition as well. Hopefully our European rivals come the end of the season. And then at 8 p.m, got the Spurs review, where I'm going to be joined by Haas from South Ucois. I'm going to be joined by Josh from Spurs Live as well, who's a really good guy, talks really well, and maybe a couple of other guests. So please join me at 8 p.m. for that. And keep liking. We've got 658 people in here, only 262 likes. We should be at 400 likes. Please, everyone, go and smash that likes. And thank you to the 3 people that did subscribe. Listen, look, that's where we are. That's where we are, people. We should get that to 10,425 in the next 30, 45 minutes. That's 22 people in the next 45 minutes. There's over 660 of you in here.
Come on, guys.
So please keep smashing that button.
And I'm 19 away from 2,100. I've just sent you over the screen, by the way.
Elias, listen, I feel like you've got to be a bit more balanced, man. First of all, Tottenham Andy, I don't think Son was poor. I thought Son worked hard in the first half. I thought he tried to link up. I just didn't think he was effective. I thought when he moved into the middle, I thought Son was much better and had a good time of things. He was floating to the left, floating to the right, dropping into midfield, linking up. But to say that Sonny had the same rating as Maddison, Elias, from who? I'm sorry, that is really clutching at straws.
Maddison was the best player on the pitch by a country mile.
By a country mile.
Like when you always say about, a good player, they stand out in games. Maddison always stands out. There's always a moment where you go, you don't need stats to just judge it. You can look and go, Maddison was the best player on the pitch. His movement, his passing, and his finish, by the way. It's one of those finishes everyone goes, it looks easy. But it's so calm and collected. Just to jink it round a keeper like that.
Just quickly, Brazigor said, just a question from an outsider. Why did Ange sub Sarr, Basuma and Maddison with still 30 minutes left? With added time, I can understand Maddison, but not the other two. Listen, I think first and foremost, anybody that's watched Ange Postecoglou in his career will see that he makes a lot of substitutions because of the high-intensity game that he plays. You had Papa Sarr. Was it Sarr or Basuma? One of them was on a yellow card. Basuma? Both?
Possibly. I can double check.
I know Basuma was. Look, I think you've also got to take into account that we've got Fulham in the Cup on Tuesday night. I think he did the right thing. Big up. There's so many people in the chat. Just a girl who loves Spurs.
By the way, just so you know, someone there, he didn't sub Basuma off. Basuma didn't get subbed off.
Yeah, Basuma came off, didn't he?
No.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He did. 100%.
Sorry. Apologies. No, he did. Sorry, he did. He did later.
What are you looking at?
Sorry. No, I looked it wrong. No, he brought Sarr off in the 60th minute. Sorry, that's why I was getting confused. So Basuma came off. They didn't come off at the same time as what I was trying to get at. Sorry, he came off.
Yeah, Kate, just to go to Spurs, if Sonny wasn't in the same ballpark. Listen, I think at the moment I'm going to say this. I think for me, the best players in this team are Van de Ven, Romero, Maddison, Basuma, Sarr. That for me, that five there are your mainstays. They're the ones for me that play.
And you throw Vicario in as well in that as well.
Yeah, I mean, your Vicario is going to play. Yeah. But I mean, for me, I think now the forwards, I think none of them are our main players anymore. I genuinely don't think. I think at fullback, sure, Adoji and Porro, I think have got to make that their own throughout the season. But just quickly going, listen, I get it. People have their favourite players, all that kind of stuff. But I think it's important that we're really, really honest. Left to centre, good day to you as well. It's not that the forward line is bad. It's just that it could be better. I suggest Ange is a mechanic tuning each part of the team. Will tweak it and be brilliant. Listen, I agree. I don't think the forward line is bad. I don't think it's effective at the moment. I think that would be the word I use. I don't think in its current guise it's effective. Elias, sorry, I'd really like to know who gave him the same rating as Maddison. I'd love to know. I don't think anyone could watch that game and say that anyone got the same rating as Maddison, let alone Sonny. But I don't want each game to be about Sonny anymore, Perchi. I don't want it to be about did Sonny play well, did Sonny not. At the end of the day, I want to come off and go, everyone played well. But hey, it is what it is. Perchi, you brought up this this information. So let's have a look.
Yeah, so
go on, talk us through it.
Overall, he's only played for two teams since he joined the team in Norway. He's played 53 games and scored 45 goals with 9 assists. I don't care what level that is. That's mad. Like, he scored the fastest ever European hat-trick last season in 5 minutes or something stupid. And yeah, like even this season, look at what he's already this season. He's played 7 games. He's played 7 games this season and he's already on 6 goals. We're not even in August. We're not at the end of August, sorry, is what I mean. I mean, that sort of says it all at the moment, right? Like, you look at his stats last season, just on goals and assists, 11 goals and assists in 10 games. I mean...
Yeah, I think that, listen, there is... Oh, sorry, hang on 1 second. Let me get rid of that. I think that I get it, right? I get that people will look down on the leagues, but when you've got a young player that's putting out phenomenal numbers, surely your interest is peaked. Surely then, surely that is what. Oh God, I've lost Perchy. I've kicked Perchy out. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. Let me quickly go through some comments. Christian Felle said the theory is not even unrealistic. I know Gent very well. Sorry, Perchy, didn't mean to do that.
He's a booted me. I wonder what happened there.
Yeah, sorry. They're in financial troubles and want to qualify for Europe as a priority. Then the Orban sale will help too. Ali has said, "Hey Savva, new to the channel. I'm wondering what was your opinion of Kulu after that first 6 months." Well, first of all, I really need this myth to stop that it was 6 months. There was no 6 months about anything. Kulu joined the last day of January, so then he played February, March, April, and a bit of May. Right, so it was 3.5 months. Kulu did well. Ali, anybody who knows me, I'm not having to go at you here. Anybody who knows me knows I will say, right, consistency. It's the word I always use, consistency. Yes, he did well, but you've got to kick on. And unfortunately, what we do a lot here is go, oh, well, what about that season? That's great. But when you've got a good player, when you've got a really good top player, they kick on season after season. Look at Bukayo Saka, to use a player who's a bit younger and in the same position. Bukayo Saka, year after year, seems to be kicking on. That's what you've got to do. So I don't think Kulu's a bad player at all, by the way. For me, I just get a little bit disappointed when I watch him that there's not more output. And I'm not just saying scoring a goal from 3 yards. I'm talking about take your man on. Give your fullback a torrid time. Give him a torrid time. International Zerber said, why is the form of one man dominating and overriding the vast improvement Ange has made? Spurs fans, I don't think it is. We've talked about Kulu. We've talked about Richarlison,
players, aren't we? Yeah.
We're about to talk about James Maddison. I don't think we have done that at all, if I'm being brutally honest. Christian has said, I'm a Belgian fan and I follow the Belgian league. The league is not at all a simple league. We have a very competitive and physical league. I think the problem is, Christian, a lot of people don't watch anything outside of the Premier League. I think that is the problem.
Very true.
They just hear Sky Sports telling us that no other league is exciting, that no other league is physical, that no other league can defend, no other league are their last-minute winners. I think, unfortunately, that's what happens. Yeah, watch along. Go Gamar. Big up to you. What a wonderful supporter of all the channels. But listen, by the way, guys, I feel like there can be a middle ground when we're talking about players. There can be a middle ground, all right? I don't think it has to be all doom and gloom or everything's brilliant. There can be when you say, I'm disappointed so far with this player. I'd like to see him do this. Yeah. Otherwise, we'd be winning every game easily, every year, and we'd be winning trophies.
Agreed.
Otherwise, we're Man City, right? When you get to the point where you're Man City, right, that's when you can start talking about every player's good and every player needs time and blah, blah, blah. We're not that, unfortunately. But big up to the 640 people in the chat. Only 297 likes. People, that's 50% of you. Come on, man. Let's smash that like button. Thank you to the 2 people that subscribed. I'm putting the link in the chat. Let's get another 10 at least. 640 people in the chat. Come on.
One person unsubbed. What are you doing?
Yeah. Listen, Elias, I think this is the problem, my friend, I don't ever go to SofaScore and to tell me who played well. I don't need SofaScore to give anyone an 8 or an 8.3 or an 8.4. Who are they? What are they? Like, surely, listen, if you were going to do this, surely you'd look at yesterday's game and go, Maddison was an 8.5 and 9. I thought he was brilliant. Yeah. Sonny was a 7. Sonny was okay. Didn't do anything badly wrong. Didn't do anything brilliant. I thought it was a 7. But SofaScore giving out 8s and 8.3s and everyone's a 9 and it just doesn't work.
But that's the problem. When we start using apps and data stuff to judge performances, for me, you don't need if you watch that game yesterday, you do not need SofaScore or any of these apps to tell you that James Maddison was the best player on the pitch. You just don't, right?
No. Listen, I've never used them. I've never ever watched a game of football in my life and gone, right, let me go and see what my app said. I don't. And listen, I get it. I think using the right apps and the right data is cool for certain things. I think it's great.
Yeah, of course,
break down passing ratios and all that. I've got no problem with that. But I don't ever need it to say, oh, so-and-so was a 9 or an 8 or, it just doesn't. I don't need an app to tell me yesterday that Romero and Van der Ven were brilliant. I don't do you know what I mean? We all saw it. We all saw it. But listen, I'm not. This is just sofa score for me. Just winds me up. Perchy, James Maddison yesterday. I mean, if we're going to talk about some of the negative players, James Maddison, 3 games for Spurs. He's been sensational, isn't he?
I mean, you could already. It's 3 games in, and I'm not being knee-jerk, but he's already he comes across like he's been at this football club for 10 years. It's a weird. Don't you ever get that feeling? I sit back and go, he's only played 3 Spurs games for us, proper games. I'm all about friendlies. He's only played 3 games, but I feel like he's been here for years. It has that weird feeling. He's come into this. And here's the question. When everyone says, oh, players need to sit there in jail, blah, blah, blah. No, it comes in. He's coming with a new philosophy. And everything that Ange just said about him says everything what I love about him. He came in and gave us new ideas.
Yeah.
He's not one of those just comes in to play football. He's come in and gone, no. I want to be the main man here. I've come in. I've just taken the number of one of the greatest ever football players to wear the number 10 shirt at Tottenham. One of them. He could have easily been passive and gone, no, I'm better not take that number. I'll take another one. I don't want a number 10. He came in, went, I'm having number 10. I'm going to be the leader at this club. And in that final third, I know Son's captain, but Maddison plays like a leader, right?
But apparently, Son is our best player. I mean, this is what baffles me. How if anyone's watching Spurs so far this season and pre-season and can't see that it's Basuma and Maddison, and then even I'm prepared to say it. I gave a lot of stick to Romero. If he keeps doing this, cool. I'll be in the mud about him if he keeps doing this. But
agreed.
No one can watch any of our games so far and say that Son's been anywhere near one of the best players. I'm sorry. No. He's done well in patches in games, but we really can't hang on. By the way, guys, we can't talk about every player at once. We really can't. Let us get to it. We will get to it. But
as I said, I think there's 2 players that can be been absolutely outstanding this season for the 3 games that we've watched, and that was Basuma and Maddison. I think those 2 have just been exceptional level. I'm not saying others have been bad, but they have been at top level quality, and they've done it consistently.
Mike is saying replace Richarlison with Tony and Son with Matoma and we win the league. Mike's going straight to league titles over here. I know that won't happen, but these are the types of players we need. Can I just say, right, when people talk about this, like I see people saying like Chelsea should win the league and Arsenal should win the league. Are we just all assuming then that Man City have forgotten how to play football over the summer? Like, why all of a sudden should... Listen, okay, bring in Tony. Let's say this window, and we know it can't happen because of Tony's ban. We're playing hypothetical fantasy stuff here. Let's say in the next week, Spurs sign Matoma and Tony. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're a really good team. But better than Man City? With Vardiol, Diaz, Rodri, De Bruyne, Grealish, Foden, Haaland, Edison. I could keep going. John Stones, Ake, Akanji, Alvarez, Kovacic, Doku. I think we do go it's a bit mad, isn't it?
I agree. I think it's absolutely balmy. But this is. Do you know what's so funny with that comment? And I just want to put it out there. He says Matoma in that conversation. I don't want us to go and sign Matoma. Not that I think he's an absolutely exceptional football player. I want Ange to go to the Japanese league and buy the next Matoma. Go to when there's a report that came out, and I don't know how substantial it is, but a report came out that Ange is going to go back to type and pick some unknowns for this football club, which I can't wait. I hope so. I hope he goes into the Japanese and the Korean leagues and stuff and just picks up a couple of gems out of them.
I agree. I'd love to.
It would be lovely to see, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I think it's really, really important. I think there's got to be a blend, right? There's got to be a blend. Yeah. You can buy players that are ready-made, i.e. Maddison and Basuma. But I think you've got to go and get those Matomas when they're young. right? Go and get the Caicedos when they're £4 million, right? And that's what Brighton have done brilliantly. Brentford, I mean, Brentford have scouted brilliantly over the years. All their players, I mean, who are the players before they join Brentford? You go, who? They bring them in, gel them into a team. But listen, I'd love to sit here and say we're going to be in a title challenge. I'd love nothing more. But let's be brutally honest. It's 3 games. We've got to slow down just a tiny bit. But Mike, come on, stop this. Tottenham beat City every year, home and away. Not true. They battered us at Man City last year. This is not true. Just because you beat Man City in a one-off game doesn't mean you beat them to the title. Mike, no offense, but you're not. Come on, mate. It's not like I'm expecting this sort of comment from someone in the playground. Come on. It's like
also, it's what makes me
we beat. Sorry, just really quickly. Sorry, we beat Man United, and Man United won a cup last year. We're better than Man United. It's like, oh well, hang on. You know, it doesn't quite work like that, does it?
Yeah, exactly. And Man City seem to beat us when it matters, right? I mean, they beat us in cup. They beat us in a cup final. I know you could argue the manager had been sacked and stuff, but they beat us in a cup final. So, listen, this is what I mean. This is what I find, and big up to Mike for coming into the chat and stuff. But I will say this to you though: is every time I hear this, but do Man City fans care that they don't win at our stadium when they won the treble last year? Everyone goes on about, oh, we beat them. Yeah, great. They went and won the treble last year. I don't think they care.
I stream with LB, who used to be on City Extra. And, you know, he has a laugh about it. And, look, we need to score at your ground. But let's be fair. He said, when we're celebrating lifting the Premier League, the FA Cup and the Champions League, we don't care. The fact that Spurs celebrate that we beat Man City every year at home says more about us than it does about them. Well, by the way, Tigaro, I'm going to disagree with you here. Yes, De Bruyne is a loss to any club, but Man City, he gets injured quite a lot, and Man City seem to do all right every year without him. They're also signing players, and I hear this every year, Perchy, about Man City.
But you know,
hang on. Let me get my question out.
Go on.
Every year I hear, oh, they've lost this player and that player and that player. Every year they go on and win the league. Every year Pep Guardiola finds a new way of playing. When are we gonna stop doubting Man City and Pep Guardiola's ability?
Silly. You crazy if you're doing that. The one thing what Guardiola does is he finds a way to build a squad where he doesn't need specific players, right? So there'll be times when you go, Pep Guardiola is the FPL, the Fantasy Premier League worst nightmare, because you sit there and go, I'm going to captain Kevin De Bruyne, and then all of a sudden he doesn't play. He puts him on the bench, and you go, why has he done that? He's their best player. Same with Haaland. He did it a couple of times last season. Just benched him out But the reason why he does that, nothing to do with FPL on this bit, but what he does with that is he does it so when one of these players gets injured, I've got players straight away that are still playing consistently straight into the team. It's a mastercard, but he's got the resources because he's built it over such a long time. And now he can do that, right? It's the fruits of his labor.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think that this is the thing as well. I do feel like when people say, "Oh, look at this, add 2 players to this 11, we win the league." 11s don't win you league titles. Yeah, squads win you league titles, and this is the thing that everyone's got to remember. Squads win you league titles. I.e., Man City could lose Ruben Diaz for the season, but their squad will cope with it. They can lose Kevin De Bruyne. Their squad will cope with it, right? Even if Haaland gets injured, they've got a goal scorer in Alvarez in their team, right?
Yeah.
This is what squads do. And I just think that I get it, right? I love football fans, like not picking on, but like with Mike Naylor, I love this whole one more, we could win the league. And I love it. It's great. It's optimistic and shoot for the stars. And why not have that ambition? But there is this little thing called reality. Yeah. And, what I don't want as well is I don't want Spurs fans to say such ridiculous things that other clubs go, oh, my God, you're idiots. Because we did this last season. when we finished top 4 the year before, and we were giving it to Arsenal. We've got the better manager. We've got Champions League. We've had a better transfer window. What happened? They went on a title challenge and finished second. We went down to 8th, right?
Yeah.
We did it with Saka and Kulusevski. We've got the better player. Boom. Right? We do this an awful lot where I don't think we ever keep our feet on the ground and go, you know what? Love what Andrew's doing. Love this. Let's build. Let's build slowly. Love this. And it's not all going to happen in a year. Listen, we are going to go for another 15 minutes as long as you're right with that, Perchy. You got time for 15 minutes?
Cool for me.
Perfect. Going to go 15 minutes. Big up. I should go through some super chats. It's very rude of me. And big up to all the people that are subscribed. Thank you very much. If we get 13 more, we can get to 10,425, which would be fantastic. Margot Robbie has said, hear it, Donna. Hear it in your face. Followed by a super sticker. Big up, Margot Robbie. Nana Hotspur has come in and said, sadly, Richie is not good enough. Let's be honest, fans. Unfortunately, I agree. What will happen, Nana? Well, that sounds weird saying that. What will happen, Nana, is Richarlison will score a goal soon where it hits his backside, goes in, and everyone will then start doing the whole, oh, maybe there is a player in there and we have to do that dance again and start pretending that we don't know the truth. Big up to you, Nana Hotspur. Shane Reynolds said, happy birthday to Big Ange. Absolutely. Shane Reynolds, channel member. Thank you so much. Happy birthday, Big Ange. And a couple of wonderful press conferences and interviews from our manager after the game yesterday. He's just copying Pep. Frankly, Tottenham, big up to you. It said, does Bentancur walk back into this starting 11? Listen, a long way to go. But right now, I wouldn't change that dynamic. That midfield three works. I think that Papassar offers you the engine, the legs, the tackling, the work rate. At the moment, I wouldn't see any reason to change it. What I will say, football's it's a long season. Many things can happen in football in the next few games, weeks, months. So it all depends, injuries, suspensions, form. But listen, it's a nice problem to have for Bentancur to come back into. Shivraj, big up to you. Said, I thought Doggy and Mickey were brilliant as well. We're going to talk about them in just a second. So thank you so much, Shivraj. Tigaro says, Savva, I love consistency as well. Question, how would you describe our gaffer so far? We know the answer. We see it in pressers and on game day. Consistent. Yeah, I love it. I think he's great. I think he does everything well. There's no emotions there that are over the top. There's no circus. There's no drama. He just gets on with it. And I think he's great. God, there's a few more. Hang on. Gogamar, big up. Just chucking in a super sticker. Big up, Gogamar. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. She's then come back in with another super sticker. Big up, Gogamar. Thank you so much. Even bigger than the last one. Shivraj has come back in again and said, can the players keep up the same pace later in the season? I believe fatigue will play a part. Look, this is where it comes down to a squad. This is where it comes down to only having one game a week. This is where it comes down to bringing the players off after 70-odd minutes in games that are won like they were yesterday. So a lot of factors, but we are going to find out, Shivraj. That's why you need a couple of extra players. And the last one, Orox Beats, big up, my man. Always a big supporter of the channel, has said, I heard Hatate of Celtic is having a fallout with Rodgers. We could do a straight swap of Lo Celso or Højbjerg for Hatate. Hatate plays 8 and 10. I think, listen, I'd like Hatate. I think he's a good player. The question I would ask is, would Lo Celso or Højbjerg want to go to play in Scotland? I'm not sure at this stage in their career they would. I don't know them.
And I don't know if they'll be able to pay the wages for the likes of a Højbjerg or a Lo Celso. That would be the key.
I agree.
I think.
And God, that was a manic couple of minutes, wasn't it? That was a lot. Thank you to everyone that has subscribed. We're now only 10 away from today's target of 10,425. So if you can, smash that subscribe button. I'm putting the link in the chat. And we're going for 11 more minutes. Perchy, the two new boys at the back, a Doggy, Van der Ven. Talk to me.
Let's start with Destiny Doggy. I just want to say this kid is a special talent. I think and listen, everyone said about him going out on loan. I think it was, do you know what? And I said it on my stream. I think it was the best thing for him to go out, stay out on loan.
I agree.
Because he's come back in to a new manager. Yes, he didn't sign under this manager originally. He's come in, new manager with new ideas, and he's given him the freedom, right? And I tell you what, massive, massive credit. We can say, yeah, Kulusevski scored and stuff. That goal only happens because of a doggy.
Yeah.
His determination. He could have easily just let that go out and gone, an overhit pass, blah, blah, blah. It wouldn't have been blamed for him anyway because it was the parson's son. He works his absolute backside off. The ball is basically on the line, whips it in, good goal. And that's what I'm liking about this kid. This kid is talented. And then we flip over to Van der Ven. Again, it's like we've just got the new Jan Vertonghen at centre-half, it feels like. He's a quality player. And this is why I said, listen, I hate being right all the time, but everyone was saying about Tap Sober. I said, nah, I think Van der Ven's the one. I think because his recovery pace has helped us so much. And it's calmed Romero down, who has been brilliant, by the way. Between them, when them two have been on the pitch together, we haven't conceded a goal. Just saying, when them two are playing together.
Absolutely. Let's just quickly go to a few comments before we get to a bit more on that. Pat Butcher is saying that Salah wants out of Liverpool. Listen, he may want out of Liverpool. I'm just going to call it. I don't see Liverpool with 6 days of the window selling this guy. I don't know where they go to replace him. And what we've seen so far this window is Liverpool have struggled to get in big replacements. So we'll keep an eye on that one.
What price tag would you say it would be? If the money was right, what would it be? Would it be more than, say, Harry Kane for 100 mil?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Listen, I don't know. What's his contract saying? Did he sign a new one recently?
He signed a new 2-year deal, if I'm right in saying. So I think he's got basically 3 years left, if I'm right in saying. So
Peter saying Sarr wasn't that great a state. I thought he had a good game. I don't think it was great. I think he had a good game, solid game. I'm not sure.
The pass to Maddison was quality, though. Perfectly weighted pass.
Oh, superb. I think the problem is it's the superlatives that we need to throw. Like, why can't we just say a player had a good game? Why has it got to be they were brilliant or they were crap? Like, it's all right.
Yeah.
Like the stream for Purchase Savva said, Van der Ven is decent, but will he still be here in 10 years like Dyer? God, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Kate has said, Savva, are Barcelona looking at Lo Celso? I don't work for Barcelona. I don't know. Lots of noises that they are. And I believe that they picked up an injury to, is it Pedri or Gavi that's just got injured?
Possibly, I'm not sure.
That was fueling a lot of this talk. Again, I don't know what will happen. I don't know what their financial situation is. I don't know. I don't know.
I read somewhere that they only wanted a loan and Spurs only accepting a sale of Lo Celso, from what I've read. That's just paper talk, but Spurs don't want to loan him. They want to sell him.
People are talking about 120 million for Mo Salah. I think the question will be, is it Saudi where he wants to go? And is 120 million pounds a problem for them to pay?
No, exactly. But
so
Liverpool with 6 days left turn down 120 million for what, a 31-year-old? That if you put in the same conversations as Kane, you'd be mad not to, right?
Yeah. Listen, absolutely. My thing is now, and this is for any club, if that wasn't a sale they had planned, it's different. If you've got a player that you've got planned to go, let's be fair. This is where Spurs have been poor. You had it planned. We knew Kane was going. Doesn't matter what fans think. The owner, the manager, and the player have all said that this was basically going to happen. There should be a plan, right, of who to replace him. If Liverpool didn't plan on selling Salah, and with 6 days to go, where do you just pluck a Mo Salah replacement from?
True. But they're going to have to sell him. I don't know. They're going to have to refresh it. I know, I agree with you, by the way, but they're not going to be quiet. They want Mo Salah, fits the mold for the Saudi league.
Sure.
They want him to be the poster boy, right? That's why they're going to make him the highest paid earner there. Like, they'd make him the poster boy, right?
Oh, of course. By the way, just quickly, Matteo, let me start again. Matteo Guendouzi, remember the old Arsenal midfielder, is signing for Lazio from Marseille. Everton have agreed a deal And it will be official next week for Beto, the Udinese striker, a bit of a unit. West Ham have obviously completed the signing of Kudos, which is a good signing for them. Benjamin Pavard won't be part of the Bayern squad today. He only wants to join Inter, but Tuchel seems to be standing in his way. Anything else in the world of football today? Cameron Archer has left Aston Villa to join Sheffield United for £18 million with a buyback included. Leeds have submitted an official bid for Glenn Kamara of Rangers. Deal expected to be completed next week. And this is an interesting one. Nathan Teller, who I think is a really good player, has just signed for Bayer Leverkusen from Southampton on a 20 million package deal. So realistically, what we're talking about there is the replacement for Diaby, who's just joined Villa.
Yeah. No, I think Nathan Teller's a very good signing, a very shrewd bit of business from Bayer Leverkusen. Germans seem to get it right when they buy the English talent, right? They always seem to nab the right one, and then they become really, really good, and then they come back to the Premier League. Look at Sancho as an example. But yeah, no, I think that's a good bit. I'm shocked no Premier League team went in for a Nathan Teller. I thought even someone like
I would take him.
Yeah.
I would have that boy in our squad. I'm not saying it's a start every game.
Good player.
Very talented. You watch Nathan Teller in 2 years, people will be wanting to buy him from Bayer Leverkusen. Yeah, he's a very good wide man. I thought he was excellent for Burnley last year. Good move for him. Really good move for him going out to Bayer Leverkusen because Leverkusen play lovely football under
Xabi Alonso.
Xabi Alonso. There you go. Yeah. Absolutely. Listen, Perchy, I am going to wrap up the show. Before I do, big up Pete from our WhatsApp group. Big up to you, mate. Lovely picture of you in your high-vis jacket there. Sex on legs. As said, Orban is built for this league and is explosive. I think it'll be just fine if he comes over. What is funny is the number of people that say things like, oh, he's coming from that league. How many people have said about Postecoglou? Oh, he's coming from Celtic and he's only managed in Japan and Scotland. Just saying. Big up, Pete. One of my faves. Hope you're well, my man. And Orox Beats. Big up. Such a big supporter of the channel. I said, true. I think Højbjerg would consider Celtic or we offer Skip. And maybe we do a swap and pay like 20 million cash. Listen, I guess it all depends on like what Perchy was saying. What wages are people willing to pay? You've got to ask yourself as well. Does Højbjerg, who was rumoured to be going to Atletico Madrid to play in La Liga as the third best team in Spain, does he now want to go, all right, I'm going to go and compete for Scottish title? I don't know. I don't know the player.
He put a good shout there. If we offered like a Skip on a loan deal to Celtic, could be not a bad idea, actually. That I wouldn't be against. I think that would be quite a good... Skip would do really well there. It'd give him a bit of more game time. And if he needs to improve his game a lot more, he'll be in a much more winning team there. But Skip would be, over the players that you mentioned, Skip would be the better fit for
I agree. For me, I think that would be a good year for Ollie Skip. Go and play week in, week out for Celtic. Champions League. He'll be playing in Champions League as well. I think that would be a good move. But listen, Perchy, thanks so much. I've really enjoyed that.
Same.
Listen, I'll be back at 4 p.m. if anyone wants to do a watch-along for Newcastle-Liverpool. Just thought it's something different rather than watching Sky Sports or whatever. So I'm not against Sky Sports, whatever channel people watch it on. Please feel free to join me, people, at 4 p.m. And at 8 p.m., we've got the Spurs review where we've got a good cast for you tonight. So please join us then. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the subscribes. I'll leave the link to subscribing in the chat if anyone would be so kind on their way out to smash that. Here it is. Subscribe to Perchy. Much love. Take care. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
In Ange we trust.